TCR UK Champion, a rather quick chap. Lewis, welcome to Is It Fast? How are you, mate? Thanks for coming on.
No, thank you. Yeah, I'm not too bad. Chilling out at the moment, getting ready for the season. Bit of a hectic time, and no one really knows what's going to happen. But we're here. We're getting ready to go. But yeah, we're just gonna have to see what happens at the moment.
You must be relatively full of confidence, right? I mean, you had a great year last year, and now heading into this year. How do you feel about it? How are you feeling about getting back in the little Hyundai and doing laps, man?
Yeah, no. Well, I'm very confident. I'm ready to go. I've waited. Well, I haven't driven the car since last round in October, so I'm raring to go. I can't wait. But yeah, we've got an addition of Bradley now. We've got my little brother in the car, so there's another object I've got to watch out on track. So another obstacle. But, you know, we've got a great team. We've got great lads who know what they're doing. We've got new people coming on board with us as well. So we know what we're doing with the car. We know how to set it up. We know how to go fast. It's just following on from where we were last year, maybe making some few improvements. But yeah, other than that, we're ready. And I know Brad's going to be quick as well. Brad's always been fast. It scares me a little bit because he's nearly as fast as me already, and he's only done an all-runners race in the actual car. So yeah, it's going to be a challenge to get past him as well as most of the others. We're going to have to see what our new competition is like. You know, you don't know how quick people are until you get there on the first day. You might have someone who's brand new into the car, jump in it and be absolutely flying. So you know, you can't really turn around and go, yeah, gonna win it, gonna boss it all the time. But you know, I'm fairly confident. I know what I'm doing. I know how the car works now. So we are confident in ourselves, but at the same time, we've got to take a step back and look at it and just hope that everyone else trips over themselves a bit.
And so yeah. Well, this is it, you know. And from experience, there's no greater competition than sibling rivalry. There's, you know, it doesn't matter where you come as long as you finish above Bradley, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's fine. Gloves are off, mate. Just do what you need to do. It's all good, but exciting. It's nice, I guess, to be able to share the experiences with your brother, and I guess almost act as a bit of a coach and a mentor, and dare I say inspiration. I'm sure he would say something different, but it must be nice to be there with, you know, your brother, your best mate, really, I guess, in many ways, and then to teach him a lesson or two when you're out on track.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, last year I spent all year with him on track anyway in the VW, so it won't be much different. It'll just be him a lot closer and a lot more around me rather than me coming around to overtake him every now and then. But yeah, we're hoping for a good year. As I say, we're confident in ourselves. We know that we can all do it. We know that the car's good. We've got the drivers. So we just got to see what happens on the first round.
I suppose taking one look back at your career to this point, and then half an eye in 2021, which is probably the most competitive this year that the grid has been.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would take forward from 2020 into 21 where you think, actually, I'm going to do a lot more of this and a little less of that? Or are you thinking, right, clean slate, new season, start again almost?
I feel like last year was probably it is probably my best year in racing. I've learned a lot over the last 3 years of racing the TCR now. You know, my first year I was very, very young, very gung-ho, very see a gap, sod it, go for it. I've kind of matured a bit now, so I've slowed down a bit. Like at the start of the year, there's a few things I would change. I'd like to try and be a little bit more aggressive in the way I am on track. You know, start of the year, if I had it where me and Henry would race a lot up at the front. Every time Henry would come down the inside, I'd look at it and go, "Oh, no bother, just go past it. Look, we'll carry on. I'll follow you." This year, I'd like to be more attacking and more forward. But yeah, we'll take all our experience in from 2020. We had some great races, had some great battles with Max Hart. Me and Max had brilliant battles at Donington last year. I think it went from TCR racing to proper old school touring car racing, where, you know, we showed that even if you do have a grid of 6 or 7 cars, it doesn't matter. You can still bounce off each other. You can still have great touring car racing, door to door racing for 8 or 9 laps straight. And yeah, we're going to try and take hopefully more of that into 2020. Hopefully some of the drivers will come in as well, and Max is there again, so we're going to have some great more battles. But yeah, we're going to take that into that year, and I just want to try and be a bit more aggressive and push forward a bit more and get a bit more hungry for it.
Touring cars, elbows out. I think that's the way to be, isn't it? I say from a place of huge inexperience. But you mentioned being more aggressive, and as we move kind of past the season, and I'm sure you get asked this a lot, but is the overwhelming ambition to move from TCRs into BTCC, or are you looking maybe slightly wider and going from TCR UK into possibly WTCR or a couple of the other series that are out there as well?
Yeah, I've grown up watching touring cars with my dad. I've got 4 generations of races in my family, all the way from my great granddad to me and my brothers now. I'd love to do touring cars, love to do British touring cars. It's just the money side of it, you know. It's an expensive game at the end of the day. Any racing is expensive. To be in a top team with British touring cars, it's a pretty penny to be in.
Yeah.
You know, we've got all the contacts. We've had chats with people. We've had talks with teams before. But again, it is the budget side. I would like to go down the route of actually becoming a professional racer and being paid to race. So it's difficult because touring cars got that platform and that profile where you can go into it and make a name for yourself and bring that profile of your driver profile up. But at the same time, it has its downsides of the money side. And if you're not as good and you're not in as good a car as you want to be, it can also drag your driver profile down. Mm-hmm. You know, you get people, some people can look at you and think, well, he's not that good. Look what he's done in touring cars. But yeah, there's many different types of racing. There's many different series out there that I'd love to do. I've had a look at GTs. I'd love to do GTs. The fact that, well, the thought of driving a GT3 car flat out around the world is beyond me. That is, I think that's the dream for most drivers, is to be able to drive one of these supercars with big wings, big slicks on them, anywhere in the world. You know, I'd love to do the WEC, the WEC type stuff. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I look down the touring cars. You look at stuff like WTCR or even eTCR, the new electric one. Mm-hmm. We're moving forward in future, and in the future there's going to be electric, and there's no doubt about it. It's here now, and it's going to be here in the future. So we've looked at different ways, different places we can go. But again, it comes down to budget and sponsors. It's an expensive game. But if we do get the budgets and the sponsors, there's many different ways we can go, and many different teams that we can go with, and different people that we can work with. And yeah, we've got our sights set for a few different things.
That's very, very exciting, and a great answer. I was like, God, this is great. No, it's really interesting because there's such a wide variety of championships and disciplines that you mentioned there. So you're obviously a true, you know, a fanboy, like a real, like you're a racer in the most. And I think when you give an answer like that, you can tell that you come from an experienced route of individuals that know what they're talking about and have experienced a variety of different racing in your family history. I mean, there's, like you say, 4 generations, which is almost unheard of. You know, probably racing before cars were a thing, right? To be go back that far. What we ask every driver when they come on, you're obviously quick. That's why you're a racing driver. And you do that on the track, again, to great success. But I have a weird interest in, well, I suppose it's not that weird. You know, all petrol heads have it to a certain degree. When you're not on track and you're not racing around in, say, an i30 or, you know, in 2 weeks of GT, that, can you imagine if that was actually us breaking an exclusive? Move out the way.
I wish.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I'll just send you off to Dubai now, and you can race out there.
If you could get the next flight out there, I'll be on it.
Oh, how nice would that be, eh? Just out there, a bit of sunshine, driving around out there under the lights. It's nice. It's nice. No, unfortunately, guys, this is sorry, mate. Can't make it happen.
Stay in sunny England.
Yeah, great. Sorry to disappoint. But if budget was no issue and away from the racetrack, what would be your, I suppose your dream daily, I guess, is always a you know, I love to know what goes on. We've had some weird answers, so yeah, what would be yours, Lewis?
See, I've got a hot hatch in my, oh, I say hot hatch, I've got a hatchback. I've got a i30N line, so I've got the same with the race car, just a smaller engine, same styling.
Great car, love those. I love them.
Yeah, they're brilliant cars for what they are.
Yeah,
one of the best on the road.
100%.
And I'm not just saying that because I raced them; they genuinely are.
You're listening, Hyundai? Free stuff.
Yeah. See, I've gone off the hatch, but I just want a big car. I want a big car to chuck golf clubs in now. So I'd go down a big 4x4 route. I like the Tucson N, the new 4x4 Hyundai. Again, not because I drive them, because I like them. Or something like an SQ8 or an RSQ8.
Ooh,
meaty with a big engine, 4-wheel drive around, not care what's going on. You don't have to go fast, but it's got the power there at the same time. Something along those lines. You know, I've gone off of fast things. I want luxury now. I don't like it anymore. I want to just be comfortable as I drive along.
I don't know. You're playing golf a lot. You just want comfort over and luxury over speed.
Yeah. I am a 90-year-old in a 21-year-old's body.
Yeah, this is what's happening, isn't it? So are you feeling okay?
Yeah.
Just for men, making sure you're not going too grey.
Yeah, exactly.
A bit of a worry. And do you know what? I couldn't agree more. I think that they are a good collection of answers. Yeah, you can't have the golf clubs without the appropriate motor vehicle in which to transport them. So yeah, an RSQ8. That would a bit talky. Yeah, that's a proper tool. That's good. No, it's no, absolutely. Well, Lewis, thank you very much for joining us today on Is It Fast. Really appreciate your time and your honesty, and yeah, best of luck for the forthcoming season, mate. I'm sure you'll absolutely I'm sure you'll blast it round even quicker than you did last year, mate.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me on. You know, it's been good talking to you guys. It's good to actually talk to someone about motorsport. I actually talk to someone in this amount of time. But yeah, no, hopefully the year goes well. And yeah, thank you very much. And hopefully we can do it again.
Cheers, Lewis.